Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Yesterday we were discussing about electric potential due to an electric dipole with their special cases, and also we discussed some points based on them. Hope you went through the topic clearly and practice the equation. Now, what is the electric potential due to an electric dipole? The equation we arrived at yesterday was V is equal to P cos theta by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. And we discussed three special cases where we were considering the point P to be along the 2 points in the axial line, and also we were considering a point which is perpendicular to the midpoint of the dipole. So we discussed all the special three cases. Hope you went through the concepts very clearly, children. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic called equipotential surface. So what is meant by equipotential? Now equi in the sense same. Now look at this diagram, children. Now the first diagram is a sphere. Now where in the center of the sphere there is a positive charge. Now a positive charge is kept, and when I start drawing the electric field lines for this charge, suppose let me repeat the same diagram here, plus Q charge. Now if I draw an electric field, now the electric field will be a sphere, and all the points in this sphere are arranged like this, and this, the radius R will be the same. So it is located at some point, and you imagine a sphere of radius R by keeping the charge at the center. Now when we talk about the points on the surface of the given sphere, now here in this diagram there are so many points that are marked A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So many points are marked on the sphere. Now all the points are at the same radius. Now the radius will be the same. So whether it is from Q to B or Q to E or Q to G or Q to I, it is the same. Now when we talk about the potential at these points, we know the formula for potential due to a point charge. What is the formula, children? V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R. So when we talk about the potentials at each point of this sphere, the potential remain the same. That is, potential at A is equal to potential at B equal to potential at C equal to potential at D. It goes on like this. So all the points on the sphere will have the same potential. So such a surface is called an equipotential surface. So I define what is equipotential surface. An equipotential surface is a surface on which all the points are at the same potential. Are you able to understand? Look at this sentence. All points in the surface of the sphere are at the same potential. Then the surface is said to be an equipotential surface. Now look at this diagram. Now here I have drawn again. Now here I explained you with respect to a charge with one sphere. Similarly, you can draw concentric spheres And look at this diagram, children. Again, there is a point charge, positive point charge. Now, as you all know, the electric field lines, the electric field line is in this direction. See, this is the direction of electric field, and the electric field lines are nothing but here concentric spheres. Now, there are three concentric spheres that are drawn here. Now, this is sphere number 1, 2, 3. Now, when we talk about the potential at this sphere 1, now this is the explanation for that diagram. Similarly, you keep on drawing spheres of higher radius. Now, suppose when you take the sphere 2, now here also you have so many points, and all the points on that sphere 2 will also have the same potential. So, concentric spheres are equipotential with charge Q at the center. Similarly, when you consider a charged wire, see here, I consider a charged wire. Now, let me consider the charges to be positively charged here. I have positively charged sphere. Now, I consider the direction of the radius is here, and electric field will be outward. Now, here also it will be the same. Here also it will be the same. The electric field will be outward. Now, this we are already familiar. Now, what will be the equipotential surface means I will consider a cylindrical surface. Now, all the points on this cylindrical surface, now you consider points here, you consider points here, you consider point here, here also you consider points. Now, all the points are equipotential. It means they have same potential. I can draw one more cylindrical surface here inside. So, here concentric cylindrical surface due to a long charged wire. Again, here also you consider R. This is different. This R is different, and here you have R1. Now, all the points will have the same potential. So, concentric sphere and concentric cylindrical surfaces where you have potentials to be the same, you call those surfaces as equipotential surface. Are you able to understand, children? Now, here this is also an example for an equipotential surface. Here I have just drawn a uniform electric field. As you all know, a uniform electric field is represented by parallel lines. I have represented parallel lines here, children. 4 lines which are parallel to each other. Now, this represents electric field. Now, what will be the equipotential surface? Now, the points at these points. See here, I consider a point here. I consider a point here. Consider this point A, here B, here C, and here D. Similarly, A and B, C, D. So, this will be the surface for this particular point. Now, I have a surface, a planar area surface which are equipotential. Okay, so for a uniform electrical field, equipotential surfaces are like this. Hope you understood what is an equipotential surface. I repeat the definition again. An equipotential surface is a surface in which all the points are at the same potential. Is it clear? Now, let us move on to the important properties of an equipotential surface. So, I am going to discuss the first property of an equipotential surface. The first property says that the potential difference, I write it as PD in short, the potential difference between any two points in an equipotential surface is 0. Now, let me consider an equipotential surface. I am going to consider point A here and point B here. And you know that potential at point A can be written as V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. Similarly, potential at B is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. Now, as I said you, if the surface is going to be an equipotential surface, now the potential at these 2 points will remain the same. So, in that case, what will be the potential difference, children? Potential difference can be written as VA minus VB, which is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r minus Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r, which is equal to 0. So, in an equipotential surface, the potential between any 2 points is 0. So, this is the first point. Okay. Now, let us move on to the second point, which states that no work is done. A very, very important concept, children. No work is done by electric force in moving a charge on an equipotential surface. So, what will be the work done? Now, let me consider a source charge here. Now, I consider a test charge. Now, there is an electric field between these two charges, right? Now, therefore, the charge will experience a force. Now, I am going to do a work. So, we have already read in our last topic, work done by the external force should be equal to the negative of the force that is existing between the two charges. Now, it is nothing but what is the work done? Work done is nothing but it is given as F dot dr. So, whenever suppose if I talk a positive charge here, now I have a concentric sphere here, I have a sphere. Now, with this is plus Q, and what is the electric field? The electric field is along this direction. Now, let me consider a point here. So, how the charge will, how the point will move in this, how the point will move from A to B. Now, suppose this is B. Now, how the point will move from A to B? This is how it moves. Now, the direction of E vector and dr vector. What is the direction? Now, the angle between them is E dot dr or E dr cos theta. Now, E is along this direction and dr is along, it is moving from A to B. A to B is, this is the small distance dr. So, E vector and dr vector are perpendicular to each other. So, when I have work done to be F dr cos theta, so theta becomes 90, so work done will be 0. And this work done is equal to the external work done by the body to move from, move between 2 points. That is from, if I move the point from B to A, which is at a distance of dx. So, work done is nothing but we saw it is potential. So, VB minus VA is equal to W by Q as far as this is concerned. As far as this is concerned, it is F dot dr cos theta. Here it is 0, and here also if the potential is going to be same, I told you in an equipotential surface the potential is going to be 0. So, in that case here work done also will be equal to 0. So, no work is done by electric force in moving a charge on an equipotential surface. Is it clear? Now, this property is explained in your textbook, which is the first property, children. Properties of an equipotential surface. The work done to move a charge between any 2 points A and B on an equipotential surface, you have the work done to be here. W is equal to, I can write this as W is equal to Q into VB minus VA. Now, if VB is equal to VA, then the work done will be 0 here. Okay. So VA is equal to VB, you have the work done to be 0, which means no work is done by the electric force in moving a charge on an equipotential surface. Is it clear? Is it clear, children? Now we move on to the third property of an equipotential surface, which is also very important. Okay? Now we talk about the direction of electric field. So how the electric field will be in an equipotential surface direction. Now the direction of electric field is always perpendicular to an equipotential surface. So this is what I have proved here. Look at this diagram. Once again, go back to this diagram. Again, it is a sphere. I have a charge here. Okay. Now, this charge I will just draw it again. I have a charge which is plus. Now, this is enclosed by a sphere. Now, how the field lines will be? The field line, electric field line will be, this is the direction of electric field. Okay. Now, when I consider 2 points A and B, now the distance of separation between this is dr. So, what is the direction of E dot dr, which is nothing but 90 degree. If the electric field is not going to be perpendicular to the charge, then we need to have some work done to move a charge between these 2 points. Okay, on the same surface, which is not possible. So, we can say that the direction of electric field is always perpendicular to an equipotential surface. Is it clear? Right. Now, next we'll move on to, actually these 2 points are very, very important. The second point is no work is done by electric force in moving a charge on an equipotential surface, and this is the direction of electric field is always perpendicular to an equipotential surface. Is it clear? Right. Now the fourth point is, I will write here, no two equipotential surface can, or you can also write instead of no, I just write two equipotential surface can never intersect each other. Okay, so I will explain this. Let me consider a surface like this, which is equipotential, right? Okay. Now, as far as this surface is concerned, what will be the electric field, children? What will be the direction of electric field? This will be the direction of electric field. See the direction of electric field. The direction of electric field will be always perpendicular. Just now we saw electric field is always perpendicular. Now, I am going to consider one more surface like this. Okay. Now, what will be the electric field as far as this is concerned? This will be the electric field. So, there are two electric fields as far as these two equipotential surfaces are concerned, which they meet here. Now, here let me draw the electric field. This is the point. Okay. Now, at this point, I cannot, this will not happen. Why this will not happen? Here there is a point, here there is a point. There are two equipotential surface and they cannot intersect. At this point, if they are going to intersect, at this point there will be two directions, yes or no? The same property you would have read in your properties of magnetic field lines. No two magnetic field lines can intersect. Now, if they intersect, at that point of intersection, you should show two direction, which is not possible. In a particular point, for a particular point, you can have only one direction, right? But in a particular point, for a particular point, you cannot have two directions. Similarly, here, two equipotential surfaces can never intersect. But if they intersect, what should happen? At the point of intersection, you should have electric field, two electric fields. Now, which is not possible. So, we can conclude stating that two equipotential surfaces can never intersect with each other. Understood? So, this is about an equipotential surface. Let us recall. Once again, I'll just refresh what is an equipotential surface. It is a surface on which all the potentials, all the points are at the same potential. And the first property of an equipotential surface is the potential difference between any two points in an equipotential surface is zero. The second point is no work is done by electric force in moving a charge on an equipotential surface, which means work done is zero, because work done depends on potential, and the potential on an equipotential surface is zero, so no work is done. The third point is the electric field. Okay, the electric field in an equipotential surface is always perpendicular. And the fourth one is equipotential surfaces. Two equipotential surfaces can never intersect with each other. Okay, so these 2 points are discussed in your textbook, children, which is considered to be very, very important. So go through these 2 points. Okay, ma? Now next we move on to again a very important topic, relation between electric field and potential. Now we know electric field is represented as E vector and potential is represented by V. So what is the relation between these two? Okay. So to understand that, let me draw once again a diagram where I consider plus Q. Now this plus Q is at the origin, which is considered to be the source charge. Okay. Now this will have an electric field like this. Yes or no? Now I am going to consider a test charge Q naught at this point. Okay, and what will be will there be an electric field that is existing between these two charges? Definitely yes. Okay, now the source charge is positive here and the test charge is also positive. Test charge will always be positive and this source charge is positive, right? Now what will be the direction of electric field or the electric force that is existing between them? It is along this direction due to the force of repulsion. So E. Okay. Now this charge Q naught will experience a force which is given by E vector equal to this, already you are familiar with, F by Q naught, or the force that is experienced can be given as Q naught into E vector. Clear? Yes? Now, what I am going to do is, I am going to consider 2 points here. One is point A, which is the position of Q naught. I am going to move this Q naught to position B. Now which is kept at a distance of, let us take a very small distance, dx. Okay. So what should I do now? Now there is already a force that is existing due to the force of repulsion, which is given by the value F is equal to Q naught E along this direction. Okay. Now what I am going to do, I am going to bring this charge from A to B. So when I do the work in the direction opposite to the direction of electric force. Yes or no? So what is work done formula, children? So a small work is done because distance moved is very small. So dW is equal to, what is the work formula, children? Work formula is F dot dr. Am I right? Force, I mean work done formula. Work done is force into distance. So I am doing a work against the electric force to move the charge from A to B, which is separated by a small distance dx. Okay. So now I am going to substitute the value of dW as, what is F? I already have the value of F as Q naught E, which is the force experienced by the charge, into, now this is going to be dx vector. Okay, ma? Right. Now this is a, as I told you, electric potential is a scalar. So work done is also a scalar. So I have the magnitude for this E dot dx is, what is the magnitude, children? Dot product. It is E dx cos theta. Now I need to substitute the value of cos theta, right? Yes or no? Now cos theta is the direction between the electric field and the displacement vector, right? So look at the diagram once again. Now what is the electric field direction? It is along the right side. Okay. Now what about the direction of dx? Where am I moving the source charge, I mean test charge? It is from A to B. So here is the angle. So this electric field is in this direction, ds is in this direction. So what is the value of theta, children? Theta will be 180. So substitute. So dW is equal to Q naught E into cos 180 is minus 1. So I have minus Q naught E into dx. Okay, so I bring this Q naught to the denominator here. So dW by Q naught equal to E into dx. So what is this work done per unit charge? Last few topics we were discussing about this. Work done, I'll write here, work done per unit charge is nothing but potential, or it is nothing but electric potential. Electric potential. Now this equation can also be written as dW by Q naught is equal to dV. Okay, so substitute for dW by Q naught as dV equal to minus E into dx. So here is the relation between potential and electric field with a negative sign. So E is equal to minus dV by dx is the relation between electric field and potential. Okay, so this is nothing but E is equal to, I write the formula again here, E is equal to minus dV by dx. In words, I can say that the electric field is nothing but change of potential with distance, and you can also say this as negative potential gradient. So what is this? Can be said as negative potential gradient. So E is equal to, E is nothing but, it is considered to be the negative potential gradient. And why do I have a negative sign here? So the negative sign indicates, now the potential keeps on decreasing in the direction of electric field. Now as I said you, now the potential at this point, when compared between these 2 points A and B, now the potential at this point and this point, which will be greater? The potential decreases. Now here the potential will be more. VB, the potential will be more. VA, the potential will be lesser. So in the direction of electric field, the potential keeps on decreasing. That is why it is represented by a negative sign. E is equal to minus dV by dx. And the unit for this is dV is change in potential, right? The unit for this is V, and the distance is measured in meter. So the unit is volt per meter, which is the unit for electric field intensity. Is it clear? Force per unit charge, Newton per coulomb, and volt per meter is also the unit for electric field intensity. So go through this topic, children. Only 2 topics I have covered today. So go through this topic, and we'll continue with example 1.4 tomorrow, children. Okay? So keep on learning, and see you tomorrow.